sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to WideBody Nation. Part of a well-rounded theft deterrent strategy is protecting your wheels. Because we all know these Mopar wheels, Corvette wheels, Mustang, all these types of wheels, especially SRT wheels, are expensive. And that's not even talking about the tires either. Like, if the wheels off this Hellcat got stolen right now, it'd probably cost me about $5 grand to replace the wheels and tires. And I know you guys are like, oh, that's crazy. That's not how much they cost. Yes, it is. These wheels are easily $2 grand. They're closer to $3 if you just buy them new and pay full price. And then, you know, our 888Rs, that's $400 or $500 a tire. Those garbage Pirellis, I wouldn't pay for them, so I get a different tire, probably some Michelin Pilot Sport, 4S or whatever it is. Anyway, back to lug nuts. You got unlimited options. You can go to Walmart, you can go to the local store, pay 20, 30 bucks for something that's going to corrode pretty quickly and may or may not even be a locking type setup, right? And what do I mean by locking? Well, there's many different ways to go ahead and secure your lug nuts. Like, for instance, these are all the different ways, not even all of them. This is just a handful of different ways. And by handful, I mean like 16 pieces. So all the different types of security lug nuts. We also have the OEM Dodge offering right here, which is kind of like the Acorn style, where you basically just take the one and bing, bang, boom. You replace one of the Acorns with this shamrock looking key. And then this is the thing that you put on the end of your socket or your impact. And then you just send it once it lines up. Now, these are heavy. I mean, this is really heavy, but obviously these are not made of titanium or anything like that. That's where we get into the real fun stuff. These right here, folks, are lug nuts that you can spec all the way up to about $1,000. Now, these ones did not cost me $1,000, but by the end of the video, you guys are going to understand why they are pricey. Now, whether or not you want to pay that price, that is your decision to make, but I will have a coupon code that is 20% off at the end of the video. So if you guys want to stay to the end and you're thinking about getting these nice lugs and protecting your car, then go right ahead. So obviously, Racing is the brand, and their presentation is 10 out of 10 would recommend. This is one of their lugs right here. They are all the same, all 20 of them. And this is their locking solution. Almost looks like a massive Torx bit, probably a little bit different of a cut. But as you guys can see, we have all 20. They all are the same head, so you have to have the key for all of them. This is the guard, so this part is like a plastic, and then this part is also titanium that you put on. You guys can see right there how that would work. You know, you basically just have bing, bang, boom. That goes in like that, and then you go ahead and send it to the right torque spec, which we will confirm for the Charger, since I'm used to the Corvette and the Subaru. A little bit of anti-seize, but with these, folks, they're titanium, they're light. They have a, I don't know, I got to check if they have a warranty on them, but I know they won't corrode, which is what you're going to run into with some other lugs. Like, let's go check out the Subaru. I just have some kind of generic, like, extended lugs on these, and I don't think they're corroding yet, but like your Gorilla brands, your stuff like that, those Gorilla ones I see tend to bleed a lot of corrosion. Like, they'll end up looking like that. These ones aren't too bad yet, honestly. I mean, these ones are extended. They're probably just like a 19 millimeter or so, but not bad, not bad. So why would you pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for lug nuts? Well, the looks, the craftsmanship, the presentation, the lack of corrosion, and then most people don't have these lugs either, so chances are crooks will not have the key for this and they'll move to the next one. Now, the chances that the crooks have the key exactly to this one, I don't know. That's up in the air. I don't know how many different versions of this key Dodge has. I can't imagine it's that many though. But I mean, this tool set right here is only about 99 bucks at Harbor Freight. And as you can see, there are many different combos there. And I have used this before plenty on my own Corvette a couple times because like the original key that came with it broke. So obviously I'm going to put it on the car. I'm going to show you guys what's up. But that is the point of the video. Super cheap, which is about these. These are about $99 retail from Dodge. You can get them for about 50 to 70 bucks in the aftermarket or just online. You know, lug nuts like that were out there, those, you know, range maybe 100, 150 bucks. Gorilla lug nuts, a little bit cheaper, but they tend to corrode. There's plenty of other offerings, but then you have these, which are like the cream of the crop. If you go on racing.com, They have open-ended short lug nuts. They have, and those were open-ended as you guys saw. Those were open-ended tall lug nuts. These are close-ended, which means that you cannot see through them. Obviously, there's no daylight here. So if you're gonna run extended wheel studs or something like that, like my Corvette has extended wheel studs, you're gonna wanna get an open set, whether it's short or tall lug nuts, depending on your preference. But obviously switching this is gonna be quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you guys what they look like and bring up a couple more things you gotta consider with lug nuts, and then you guys can go ahead and roast me below in the comments for, you know, splurging on these lugs, even though they're gonna look perfect. All right, so we've got both back wheels done. I think it looks good. Here's what the front wheel looks like still without them. Yep. And you guys can kind of see zoomed out here. Nothing to see over there. Shiny acorns. Those are 22 millimeter lugs as well. Like I got out like the 21. I was like, this will be big enough. And then still bigger. So torque spec I used was 120 because I had an extension on the torque wrench. So like generally speaking, I've heard that if you use an extension, then you kind of lose a little bit of torque. So I have my torque wrench set to 120. I know this is gonna need to get cleaned up, but as I said, this side's good to go. And we are gonna go ahead and do both fronts. I'm gonna back the car all the way into the garage for the front so I can get a little more shade. All right, so we have the finished product here. Put a couple 100 miles on it this weekend. You guys can see the full blacked out mode definitely helps. Plus, you can't even tell what the key style is until you get up real close. Whereas if it was still the original, you would you'd be able to tell from very far away that they're just regular lug nuts, stock OEM. So they know that's a 22 millimeter. So one of my final thoughts on the product. I mean, yes, it's expensive. Yes, you can get cheaper options, but all things considered, I mean, it's basically a $100,000 car. So protecting your $3,000 to $5,000 wheels and tires for about 500 bucks, looking great. It's a sacrifice that you may want to make. I mean, this car gets so much attention from everybody. Police, friends, not friends, random people. Obviously, everybody who has a cool car wants a piece of this thing. So, you know, I recommend the racing lug nuts, but there are other options. If you guys want to only buy them one time, maybe go ahead and buy the open-ended ones so that you don't box yourself in with close-ended lugs. I have a video I'm going to film right after this, and it is on the direct connection kit. And I do owe you guys that coupon code. So to get 20% off, the coupon code is FREEDOM23. So FREEDOM23 gets you your 20% off. And hope you guys go ahead and protect your car with any type. I mean, I want you guys to protect your car as best as possible. It doesn't have to be with our products. Doesn't have to be with the products that I use. But I just want these cars protected because the more they're protected, at some point thieves will just decide that they are just too risky, whether they're going to get caught because they're tracked or they're going to get caught because they get stuck in here trying to put a pin code in or not able to program a key or not able to access the neutral strap, whatever it may be, you know, not able to take your wheels off, not able to see if there's any valuables in the car. You know, you can kind of see in, but not really enough unless you got real prying eyes. With that being said, I definitely need to get a tire for the rear. I mean, roll racing in Mexico, obviously, from a roll, these R888Rs do all right. But from a dig, unless it's a really nice prep surface, they are not good enough. And they're also a hard tire, you know, 100 tread wear, hard sidewalls. So I really would like to get some sticky Mickeys on there and more sidewall, either an 18 or a 17-inch rim with the corresponding amount of sidewall. It's just the brake clearance, those don't look huge, but that's because they're on a 20-inch wheel. And then obviously the fronts, apparently I have to get a 20-inch wheel unless I get a crazy offset because they even made the brakes bigger for 2022. With that being said, that pretty much wraps this video up. I know it's kind of a Small thing, but remember, your theft deterrent plan / strategy is not just a one-size-fits-all solution. Don't just go get a tracker. Don't just go, park your car in your garage. You got to do all of the things, or you have to have many things that most of them you do all the time, so that if a thief is profiling you, or if a thief comes upon your car and they think it's an opportunity, it's actually a hard target. So with that being said, make sure you check out destroyer1320.com. Make sure you check out racing.com. Code FREEDOM23 for your 20% off and free shipping. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you're not protected at destroyer1320.com already, like if you don't know what that is, I don't really know what you've been up to. I mean, maybe you're new to the Mopar scene, but I get it. You should have wheel locks. You should have tinted windows. You should park in the garage, this, that, the other, have a tracker, have a car lock, kill switch. If you don't protect your neutral strap, all that still leaves your car vulnerable, to say the least. And that is how one of my Dodges ended up getting stolen, and that's why we made the product.
Crazy. As you can see, they tried to go for the neutral strap, couldn't get it done. You know what I'm saying? Kill switch, couldn't start it, couldn't get a new key.